9 kilometers south of Manila lies the city of Paranaque. The city's name bears a curious etymology, a collection of folk stories that outdo the other for credibility. In the passing of one language to another, the name Paranaque traces its origin from the word palanyag, meaning my beloved, to the union of the words palayan and paglalayag, rice fields and fishing, respectively, a collective term alluding to the coexistence of farming and fishing in the old coastal communities, to Paranaque, meaning stop here in Spanish, and indeed, make a stop at the city by the bay. What was a sleepy fishing village is now a city abuzz with a hum of modern existence. And as coastal shores gave way to paved highways, hectares of salt bed found new life as stomping grounds for the urbanite. Vast tracts of salt beds morphed into condominiums, factories, and that quintessential city must have, the shopping mall.
Ang vision natin dito sa Paranaque is to make it a premier city in south of Metro Manila. We want it very progressive with a lot of investors and a lot of businesses.
The main international gateway for travelers to the Philippines, the Ninoy Aquino International Airport and its 3 terminals are located within the boundaries of Paranaque and neighboring Pasay City. Thus, in Paranaque, business hotels and travel inns have mushroomed within the proximities, offering more than clean rooms and decent accommodation, but hospitality served the genuine Filipino way. Restless travelers in between flights would do good to venture out of the confines of sterile airport environments for a quick crash course in Philippine culture by way of exploring Paranaque. The most obvious destinations for those eager to shake off the dreary in-flight feel are the Casino Filipino, luring each visitor with grand lights, sound, and games. Or the duty-free, a huge shopping bonanza, sure to please anyone with an appetite for bargain and designer bounty. But one is invited to take this endeavor of discovery even further, as a few hours around town take you beyond the usual tourist stops. Paranaque of today is a far cry from the grassland and rice fields of yesteryears. Modern Paranaque is a hub for business and investment, cashing in on the international gateway appeal. A drive through the hectic thoroughfares shows the evident. A city moving forward, relentless in its pursuit for the new. Old, faithful structures are rebuilt to serve the growing needs of the city populace. A community hospital houses a new wing and better equipment. The global call to go green is realized in the simplest yet most effective means: windmills that power street lamps in small villages in the city. Schools and universities dot the cityscape as new condominiums rise beside shopping plazas. And at the City Hall, the steady stream of people with business on the agenda is only broken once during the annual celebration of cityhood. Paranaque City encourages local business and provides several incentives for growth. Small family-run industries expand into medium-sized enterprises. This modest facility houses Philippine Desiccants Incorporated, a company producing moisture absorbents. PDI manufactures dry packaging for the semiconductor industry, for logistics companies, food and beverage, and pharmaceutical and shipping industries.
We started this company in 2001. So this is our answer to the PEZA industry, or the export processing zone quest for localization of their products. Our people, especially our employees from Paranaque, they are very hardworking and they are self-motivated.
One convenience of doing business in Paranaque, of course, is the excellent location. This is a view shared even by the big companies that have set up shop in Paranaque. Lamoyan Industries, a big facility along the service road connecting Bicutan and Sucat, is one such company. It is a company that was born out of a crisis, one that has weathered challenges and is extremely resilient.
Lamoyan was established 1988. Before that, we were making tubes, which is aluminum collapsible tubes for the toothpaste industry, multinational companies. And in 1986, we had to close down because they switched from aluminum collapsible tubes to plastic laminated tubes. So in 1988, we started producing our own toothpaste using our aluminum tubes. So that started the story of Happy. Over the last 20 years, we stayed here in Paranaque. This is a wonderful place to do business and even to live in. And I believe this is one area where businessmen are treated fairly.
Tuloy-tuloy po yung aming pag-encourage ng mga investors to relocate here. We even have a special investment district in the reclamation area where we are giving tax holidays. No?
But there is more to Paranaque than the imagery of commerce. A new city with reverence for the old, Paranaque is an open invitation for discovery.
Well, Paranaque used to be a probinsya. Probinsya to eh. Naliligo kami sa ilog. Malinis yung ilog. Doon ako natuto mag-swimming. At malinis ang hangin. Kukunti ang sasakyan dumadaan. Maayos. Pati palengke malinis.
In search of Paranaque's soul, one must, like the old-timers of Palanyag, toe the geographical line between the 1st and 2nd District. The 1st District is home to the oldest villages and communities in the city, while the 2nd was born due to mushrooming industries in the 50s and the suburban boom of the 80s. Their distinct characters make up the Paranaque psyche.
My family actually started first producing lime. We used to get lime from oyster shells. They grind it up and they add it with cement. So it makes the structure of whatever you're trying to do sturdier. Then we moved to Tombo. That's where we've been living until now. That's where we had our lime and tile factory.
The Santos Pascual compound is a 12-lot compound that opens out to Rojas Boulevard. The houses here are of the old, flat American bungalow style. Cross the street and you will find yourself at their ancestral home, now but a remnant of its former glory. Plans for reviving this historical landmark, which was used as a hospital during the Japanese invasion, are underway. Another old home shaded by big trees sits grandly across the St. Andrew Church of La Huerta. The Medina Mansion looks over a canopy of green to the wide plaza of the church that houses Palanyag's patroness, the Nuestra Señora del Buen Suceso, brought to Philippine shores in 1625. Renowned Filipino fashion designer Christian Espiritu is a proud resident of La Huerta.
We were into embroidery, and maybe that's the thing that opened my eyes into the thing of designing, because my family had bordadoras, embroiderers. Before I could learn how to write my name, I was already running a sewing machine. Designing clothes is a very natural thing, I think.
After the rapid industrialization of the city, the residents now aim to preserve the traditions held sacred, the cultural treasures that abound in every community. And so, a renaissance of the arts is at hand. One project is the revival of the fine embroidery of Paranaque. Cottage industry supported by the local government produce knickknacks such as these dolls garbed in exquisite ternos. The dolls and their clothes, designed and crafted by hand, are poised to be the next export commodity. San Dionisio, a village in the 1st District, is also zealous about preserving the Paranaque customs of old. After all, this is where the San Dionisio Chapel is found, Within this edifice of red brick and stone, the image of Saint Dionysius of Greece, fondly called Tata Dune by the locals, is a curious sight. The decapitated Tata Dune holds a Bible, his head resting atop the book. According to legend, the saint was a bishop who suffered imprisonment and death under the Roman Empire.
Ang chapel namin kasi before parang nipahat nung dinala yung image ng aming patrong si San Dionisio ng mga Kastila. Merong isang taga rito sa San Dionisio na hinikayat ang Kastila na hingiin yung imahen para ilagay dito sa chapel.
Here, a local play or komedia is performed yearly, a tradition handed down through generations.
Meron tayong tourism office dito na pinapalagaan natin yung heritage ng Paranaque.
In today's Paranaque, new rites are born, initiated by a different breed of culture vultures. Bar denizens looking for nightlife, shoppers who frequent strips like the Santana Grove, or pleasure seekers who swear by the various spas and beauty centers, holistic havens guaranteed to pamper. And of course, the most discriminating of all, hardcore foodies who swear that Paranaque is home to some of Manila's best-kept culinary secrets. There's the old village of Don Galo. Don Galo gained popularity in the food circuit because of its famed beef tapa, or sun-dried fried beef. Looking for fresh seafood cooked straight off the market? Then Dampa is sure to satisfy. The Dampa Fish Market and its row of restaurants are the first in the metro, copied all over the region. And if the universe is one that thrives on oven-baked pizza, then the cosmos has become infinitely happy at Cheats, where pizzas of all kinds and flavors roast in a huge clay oven. Beyond the growing urban sprawl, there are places of healthy natural life in Paranaque. The growing awareness for conservation has put the city on the map, as it is home to the National Capital Region's Bird Sanctuary. Migrant birds flock to the bird sanctuary at Freedom Island, now declared a protected area by the government.
Yun ang challenge, no? But the bird sanctuary is now adopted by the national government as a program of conservation by the national government. Hindi lang naman Paranaque nakikinabang dyan. So, kailangan po talaga yung tulong ng national government, DENR. Tutulong ko kami para we can all get our act together as far as the cleaning up of Manila Bay.
Families will delight in a day of learning at the Bio Research Center. Here, children can play around the butterfly gardens, koi ponds, and learn a thing or two about animals and caring for nature. But the culmination of all that is held sacred to the Filipino is found in the old district of Baclaran. People crowd about this main thoroughfare, and though that may be an oxymoron, it literally is the only way to get to the national shrine of our Mother of Perpetual Help. The church is one of the largest churches in the country and is known for having the most